And welcome to Dream Team Scout. This is your boy Tage for another episode of the Sun Dream Team Game Week 18 tips. I would just want to say last week I didn't put out a video. Wasn't feeling too good. Had the flu. And I don't know if everyone's been experiencing the flu, because literally my whole house is taken down. And I think for like 2-3 days I was feeling a bit poorly, man. My voice was gone. I was hurting. But it is what it is. It's that season, But this, football fantasy survives. We have to, get up and make another video. Anyway, so hopefully you guys had a great week. Yeah. So this game week, we're looking at plays that we could target. Some teams play 2 games. Some teams play 1. That doesn't guarantee much. It just depends on where you're getting these players from. At the end of the day, sometimes you might bring in a player for 2 games and thinking the guy might pop because you're playing 2 games. But then what happens is, the guy who plays the 1 game might make up points for 2, and that happens so many times. And it's just a different strategy. And sometimes you go chasing, the double games. And sometimes you just put your hope in the 1 game. So, anywho, let's not waste too much time. As you could see, my team for this past game week made 102 points. This game week, so not bad. And the previous game week where I was a bit ill, I used my booster and I got 200. I used my goal booster and I got 216 points. So in total, as you could see, we just got past the 2,000 mark. Still doing a bit meaty, average, but it is what it is. So yes, let's not waste too much time. So tips for game week 18. Now I'm gonna have to go through the same old, and we know the same old players that we have to pick, or that we know we have to have in our team as the captain. Is a mainstay now is Mo Salah. He's 7.8 million. He scored 21 points for West Ham the last game. He's got a total of 294 points. I think is that more than Haaland? Yeah, definitely more than Haaland. So he's the best performing player in the Sun Dream Team this season. And Liverpool have got the 2 games in Man United and Tottenham. Man United, that's definitely a home win. United can't keep clean sheets. And right now Salah has got no respect for no defenders. Like, regardless of what position my guy bangs, and United are conceding at least an average of 3 goals per. No, sorry, let me not be too harsh. An average of 2 goals per game. So yeah, Mo Salah, everyone should have him. If you don't have him, destroy your team to get him in. And then if you're looking at another player, and I'll say Mo Salah, obviously captain choice, first choice, only choice. Even though I don't know if he's gonna play both games. He might get rested, but listen, the damages he could do against United, easily score a hat-trick. He could have easily scored a hat-trick against West Ham, so he could easily do that against Man United right now. I mean, Man United are a bit more structured on the armouring, but they still concede. But yeah, so yeah, that's on Mo Salah. Or we could go, you could go for Diaz. He's playing a different position up top. He's rejuvenated, like, with his goal scoring prowess, and with the formation that Liverpool are playing, my guy scored 8 goals and 2 assists in the league alone. He's 4.1 million as a midfielder, and that's a good plus when you have your midfielder playing up top. He scored 10 points against West Ham. He scored a total of 160 points, which is good. He's averaging 6.7, which is average. His best performing points is 23, the one against Leverkusen. So shows that he's got the ability within him to get a brace in a game, as opposed to Brennan Johnson, who just scores the 1 each game prior when he was on form. So yeah, so I would say Diaz 4.1 is definitely a good shout if you're looking to strengthen your midfield. You could look for Diaz on that one. If we could go to the Liverpool defender, Trent. If you've got enough money from Saka and you don't want to do a like for like replacement of Saka, but if you want to spend that money in defense, Then you've got Trent, it was 5.7 million. His funds should go up by at least 200k. He scored game week 17 points. He scored 19. He scored 1 goal. He had 2 chances created. He got points for 1 clean sheet. He got points for 4 tackles. He got bonus points. He was just literally just raking in the points for a defender to get 19 points. Why? Crazy. So for the people that brought him last week, well done. But I'll be saying, listen, if you don't wanna, if your team is, if your team is well structured and you feel like you need to, once again, better your defense, then I would say Trent's your man. He's averaging 7.3 points per game, which is quite good. And he's got 168 points more than Diaz. His best performing points, it's 19 points. And yeah, so I would say if you're going to buy him, buy him and hold and keep. He's definitely a good asset. And then if we live in the Liverpool umbrella, I would say Chelsea. The only guy there will be Cole Palmer. I know his returns this last game week was poor, 4 against Ipswich. But we can't deny that this guy's, his numbers alone, when you look, if you're a stats man, his numbers alone are crazy. 197 points in total. He's averaging 10.4 points. That's crazy. You compare that to Salah, 11.3, not too far behind. Best performing points is 34. That's crazy. But they just got the 1 game against Crystal Palace at home. But listen, after 2 defeats, Chelsea should be fired up, and facing the Palace team that have conceded, or should I say, that have kept 2 clean sheets in 10 games. That is something that we could work with. And I feel Cole Palmer should get some good points. He should wake up and get some good returns. The only problem with the downside to this is that when you do bring in Cole Palmer, he should be losing value by 200k. But at this point in time in the season, I just feel like, let's forget about losing value and trying to build. Like now, I think everyone could afford everyone with the Saka money. So bring the players that could get you the points. That's what I would say. Moving forward, a man on big form. Like when I mean big form, need I say anymore? Isak at Newcastle is 5.8 million. He scored 10 points v Man United over that mighty header. It should go up in funds, but it should go up in value by 100k definitely. It's got its total points of 168. Next to Trent, and that just puts into perspective about Trent. It's got the same points as Isak. He's averaging 8.4 points. Best performance was 26 points, which is amazing. When he had the hat trick, they've got the 2 games, Tottenham and Arsenal. Now that's a bit tricky. It's a bit tougher side. Do fancy him scoring against Spurs, because Spurs don't keep no clean sheet. They're struggling for defenders, so should fancy himself scoring. Against Arsenal might be a bit of a tough one. I'm an Arsenal fan, so as you can see, so yeah, hoping he doesn't score, but he probably could score. But his form right now is just crazy, and I feel like in most fantasy teams now is Salah, Haaland, and Isak. That's the 3 formidable strike force. I don't think nothing is coming into breaking that, that pair. And I think those 3 guys have got that position in a chokehold where nobody could come in. Havertz, even Jesus finding a bit of form, Watkins, and all of them, Cunha, and you ain't breaking that pair. But Isak, he's got to go against Man United last game week, and he's got 5 goals in 5 games, and it's clearly a guy on form. So I'll say definitely, if you have him, hold. If you don't have him, bring him, break your team, get a kid in. He's a must. And then the old god of DreamTeam, the old god, Asgard, the man, the Norwegian. Eric Haaland. Be humble, hey. We know he's losing value every week. He's 7.8 million now. The guy was in his 8s. He's dropping every week. But however, this week he came up with a goal against Leicester. I don't see his value increasing, and if it does increase, probably by 100k. But I highly doubt it. He scored the 11 points against Leicester. I expected a brace, but he got the 1 goal, a beautiful cross with Savinho. It's got a total of 221 points, about 70 points behind Salah, so it's lacking behind a bit. I mean, it's averaging 8.8, still good reading. Best performing points 26, still good reading. They just got a one game against West Ham though. Now, some people might think of taking off Haaland to make that other teams better. And please, if you've got problems with other departments of your team, please do that. Make your you could if you take off Haaland, you could bring someone like a Jesus and and then use the funds to do to bring in a Diaz or to bring in a Trent to defense if that's where your mind is at. But listen, he's not my captain for this game week. However, I'm not taking him off. He stays. He's a freak of nature. He could wake up any time. And West Ham ain't keeping clean sheets anyway. So that is something that I would say. It's something that I would say. The decision is left to you, man. It depends what mini league you're in. If the guys above you ain't got Haaland, so maybe you could do the same, or maybe you could keep him as a differential. It's down to you. We ain't got the answers. We'll just show you the way. But yeah, and if we're still looking into Man City, then we could look at Savinho. It's 3.7 million. It's a bit cheaper alternative to Diaz, lacking in points. Then Diaz has got 118 points in total. It's averaging 5.1 points. That is very average. Best performing points is 13, not the best. However, he's got 21 points from from his last two games. And he played 90 minutes. So he shows a player that is growing in form, and he also shows a player that Pep is actually trusting. And City have got some good fixtures coming up. So that could be something that you might want to sort of look into and hold. I think City have got, if I was to look into the fixtures, City have got in game week 90 they've got Salford, they've got Brentford, then they've got Ipswich. So it's worth taking a risk. Listen, West Ham, they don't keep clean sheets. Bowen is injured, so I don't see them scoring, to be fair. And whilst we're on that subject, you could bring in a City defender, but that sounds like a cursed chalice with City because they don't keep clean sheets. They rarely keep clean. I think it's like 2 clean sheets in the last 10 games or something like that, something stupid like that. So I mean, that is something that you could exploit if you want to. And then finally, I would say Mbuemo. Done his thing against Arsenal yesterday, even though we came up trumps, give us a little scare. But he's 4.4 million. It should increase up. It should go up in value by 100k, or probably remain the same. Total points of 173, and my guy ain't even playing in Europe. He's like scoring the likes of Diaz and Co. And he's not even playing in Europe. And he's given Cole Palmer. He's giving Cole Palmer a good run for his money. 197 points. He's 173. He's averaging 7.9. Just Cole Palmer averages much better points than him. But his game week 18 games is Southampton and Plymouth. He's got Southampton away, Plymouth at home. I don't see him starting against Plymouth at home, but who knows? So my guy sometimes, I think it was in the League Cup he played. He started off with Mbuemo, where I think Mbuemo didn't even score that game. Where I think Shard, is it Shard or Sade, wherever his name is, he scored like a hat trick that game. I was scoring, but Mbuemo is definitely a good shout if you ain't got him. The Southampton fixture is looking very enticing, and definitely could lace his boots or get some assists. Or you could probably look at a Southampton striker and Wissa and them guys there, because they are a problem. So yeah, it's down to you. It's down to you how you see it. Like I said, 2 attractive fixtures. I don't know, he's not guaranteed he starts, but definitely a good punt. So that's what it is, to be fair. So these are the players that I have my mind sort of around with regards to this game week. And if I was to bring that in correlation to my team, as you can see on the left hand side of the screen, I'll be contemplating, with the likes of Odegaard and Iwobi. One of them have to go. More likely Odegaard. Reason why, it's just not getting me enough points. Last 3 games he scored 13 points, and his last 3, that is gave me like 3 less than under 4 points per game, and or should I say 4 points per game, should I say? not good enough. I need more. And you know, our fixtures against Brighton and Newcastle, I don't see that changing any quicker, any sooner. So I probably would be exploiting, you know, Odegaard for a Diaz or Mbuemo. And then it will be, I might leave just one more week, see what it does against Ipswich and Watford. I don't see him starting both games, but let's just see what he does. So he might stay. So at this point in time, Odegaard is the only one that might, you know, be doing what am I stuttering? Pardon me. Odegaard might be the one going for the walkabout. And Mazraoui as well might be going for that long walk. I don't know if you guys saw, you know, watch Game of Thrones, you know, the Walk of Shame. Yeah, Mazraoui might be going for walkabout. So I've got in this team, I've got some money in the bank. I've got about $1 million in the bank. So if I was to, you know, just, you know, make that transfer now and take off, let's say we'll take off Odegaard for a Diaz or Mbuemo, one of those. Let me just say, for example, let's just say Diaz. 4.1, and then that will leave me. So we'll leave me with 5.2. So, you know, a bit short to get Trent, who's on 5.7. But I could probably look into, you know, I have to probably look into another defender. I did say you could bring in a City defender, but I wouldn't take that risk because, like I said, they don't keep a clean sheet. Arsenal, I've got some tough fixtures. Yeah, so I might look into Van Dijk. But who knows? I'm not too sure. But I'll play around with that. I'll see what I come up with. But yeah, let me know how you guys performed. In the comment section. Let me know the players you might suggest to better my team. Like I said, I got probably 5.2 million to spend in defense if I was to bring in Diaz. So let me know what I could bring into, you know, to make my team a better place. I think Timber would stay. I know he's suspended for the one game. But yeah, that's it really, guys. Please like, share and subscribe, show some love, and yeah, Happy New Year. I didn't even start the show with saying Happy New Year, but Happy New Year, and it is what it is. Dream Team Scout, over and out.